Hokage get burning art at the start, Chapter 361 to 380. Chapter 361 I'm horny. But while they were laughing, Kazama had already started a quick hand seal. Siwei Shenhai Wu Yin. Kaden, Fire Style, Great Fireball Jutsu. Hand seal of Kazama was completed, a huge fireball burst out of its mouth immediately. What? How is this possible? Seeing that Kazama actually used the Great Fireball Jutsu, Shimura Ichiro was stunned. Boss, run. If it weren't for the little scoundrels beside him who would take him away in time. I'm afraid he will be burned to ashes by the grand fireball in the wind. Even Shimura Ichiro and others barely avoided Kaden, Fire Style. But because now the power of this grand fireball is too great, and the attack range is wide. Therefore, Yue alone has shocked Shimura Ichiro and others to a shit. And accompanied by the fiery power after the fire dragon flame bullet dissipated. Even burned Shimura Ichiro's clothes completely. Boss, isn't the tailwind room of this crane too powerful? Yeah, even you are not a complete master of this fire dragon bullet, how can he use it here? Damn it, you ask me who I ask. Shimura Ichiro knew that Kazama was not what it used to be, so he immediately fell to his knees with a plop. Brother Kazama, we were wrong, please spare our lives. Because of the power of the Kazama Grand Fireball, let alone they couldn't deal with it. Even Genin or even Chunin may not be able to withstand it. HMPH. It's okay if you want me to spare you. I remember that you used to ask me for protection money a lot, and often beat me up, so as compensation, give me all your money now. Okay, let's take it. Shimura Ichiro was overjoyed when he heard that Kazama only wanted money and didn't want his own life. Because as long as he can live, then he can use the power of his family to deal with Kazama. After Shimura Ichiro and the others dropped the money, they all ran away without a trace. And what the wind needs most at this time is money. Because of the money, he can buy various ninjutsu to enhance his own strength. Damn it, these three guys are so poor. Kazama originally thought that Shimura Ichiro and the others would have at least 180,000, but who knew it was only a few $100s. Originally, Kazama was thinking about buying a few levels, even S-level ninjutsu. But it seems that now it can only be bought from low-level ninjutsu. Forget it, no matter how small a fly is, it's still meat. Thinking of this, Kazama happily opened the system interface again. In order to save your life, let's buy a clone technique first. After all, Kazama's funds are limited now, since he can't get a lot of ninjutsu in a short time to enhance his own strength. Then you can only buy some defensive ninjutsu first. Clone technique 500 yuan. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Sweden, water style, avatar is 1000 yuan. Close black lens bracket. Raiden, thunder style, clone is 1000 yuan. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket shadow clone 5000 yuan. Close black lens bracket. Seeing that each of these clones is more expensive than the other, especially the shadow clone costing 5000 yuan, Feng Jian couldn't help but smack his tongue. In the end, it's Prince Naruto's good clone technique. It's really expensive. Forget it now, I'd better buy a normal clone first, and I'll start with shadow clone when I have the money. Today's Kazama is a poor man, so he can only buy ordinary clone techniques first. Choose separation technique successfully, please pay the host 500 yuan. Seeing that the money he had just obtained was about to be spent, the wind suddenly felt a little painful. Chapter 362 Go back and beat Sasuke. However, in order to enhance one's own survival rate, this clone technique must be bought. Bought. Ding, the purchase is successful. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the clone technique. Quote. Haha. At this time, the wind quickly hand seal with both hands. In one breath, he cast dozens of clones. You must know that this clone consumes a lot of carrots. As a last resort, few ninjas dare to display so many clones. But in front of Kazama with infinite chakra. Dozens of clones are trivial, and he can afford hundreds. At this time, Kazama immediately walked towards the ninja school excitedly. Because today is the day for the graduation examination of the ninja school. Now that he has traveled to the Hokage world, he has obtained the system to become stronger by charging money. That Kazama naturally wants to enhance his strength, so that he can dominate the entire ninja world in the future. The first step to becoming stronger is to graduate from ninja school and become a genin. Because only by becoming a genin, can you perform tasks and earn rewards. Then you can buy all kinds of cool skills in the system mall. Kazama remembered that the first item in the graduation exam was the avatar technique. If it was the previous Sanada Kazama, it would definitely not pass the test. Kazama, who has mastered the clone technique now, this exam is just a drizzle. After coming to ninja school, Kazama immediately saw those familiar faces that could only be seen in the comics in the past. The female students led by Sakura and Ino around him. There are also Choji with snacks, and Inuzuka Kiba with Akamaru on his head. Huh, why don't you see Prince Naruto? Kazama looked around, but couldn't find Uzumaki Naruto. By the way, I remember that Naruto often drinks expired milk, and now he should have diarrhea in the toilet. At this moment, Iruka also came to the crowd. Everyone, next is the first clone technique for our graduation assessment. As soon as Iruka finished speaking, everyone stepped onto the stage and began to perform the clone technique. Uchiha Sasuke, who is known as a genius. Don't look at Sasuke's stinky face all day long, but his strength really shouldn't be underestimated. Avatar technique is the master's consummate skill. With the success of Sasuke's avatar technique on the stage, many female students under the stage were excited and danced. Especially Sakura and Ino, even more winked at Sasuke. Fengjan couldn't help but chuckle after seeing it. But if you cast one clone, you will be excited like this. If I cast hundreds of clones later, won't you faint with excitement? Just as Kazama thought that, Iruka called Kazama's name. Kazama-kun, it's your turn. Haha, the end of the crane is going to start a funny show again. After learning that Kazama was about to take the stage, everyone immediately started laughing. Do you remember? Last time, this waste in Fengjan didn't succeed in being cloned for a long time, and finally made a loud fart. Of course I remember, that's why this guy is called a waste of waste, even worse than Naruto. Hearing everyone's ridicule, Fengjan laughed instead of angry, because he could slap everyone in the face next. Amid the roar of laughter from the crowd, Kazama immediately swaggered onto the ring. Then, under the watchful eyes of the public, he directly cast a clone. Kazama originally wanted to cast dozens or even hundreds of clones in a row. Chapter 363 I have so many clones. However, Kazama also knew that his current strength was not particularly strong, nor was it particularly defying the sky. Therefore, if you say that you must be a human being with your tail tucked, that is, pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger. At this time, everyone thought that the avatar separated by the wind must be very garbage. But everyone never expected that the avatar separated by the wind is exactly the same as the main body. To know the quality of the clone can be seen from the outside. Chapter 3 Slap everyone in the face. Even the avatars that Sasuke had separated before were somewhat illusory. After all, they are all just students at the ninja school, and they don't have enough chakra. Therefore, the split avatar will not be too real. But now the avatar separated by the wind is real, it is exactly the same as the main body, and it is almost difficult to distinguish between true and false. The people in the audience who were going to laugh at Fengjan were immediately stunned and looked at each other in dismay. At this time, the originally noisy venue was also shocked by the current avatar of Kazama, and it was silent. Even Iruka, the teacher, was full of disbelief. How about Iruka, sensei, is my current clone still qualified? This one. Upon hearing Kazami's question, Iruka immediately swallowed. Then he hurriedly nodded his head happily. Qualified, of course qualified, not only qualified, but also qualified with very good grades. As Uruka said that, he immediately gave a thumbs up to the wind. After all, Uruka knew that Kazama used to be the tail of a crane. Don't say it's a clone, even the imprint of the clone can't be remembered in the wind. But now the wind is actually a face-to-face kung fu, and this real avatar is separated. Then Uruka was naturally very happy. At this time, the people under the stage saw the useless wind room at the tail of the crane in their eyes. The clones that are now being displayed are even more powerful and powerful than them. Immediately, all kinds of envy and hatred. Then the students who had looked down on Kazama before immediately laughed at Kazama again. Hee, isn't it just a clone, what's so great? That's right, as a student of the ninja school, if you can't even tell the difference between your avatars, isn't that rubbish? Haha, don't say that. For the crane tailwind room, it is already very powerful to be able to separate this clone. Do you expect him to separate dozens of clones? Well, not bad, not bad. Such a result is also very perfect for garbage, ha ha ha. While everyone was talking, they sneered at the wind again. Although everyone knows that Kazama's current clone technique has surpassed them. But they are still reluctant to admit that the wind is powerful, and they are unwilling to admit that the wind is powerful. It's like a person can tolerate someone who doesn't know each other become very arrogant. But if people around you who were not as good as you were, suddenly one day they became very arrogant, then most of them will be very angry and very jealous. At this time, the wind heard everyone in the audience laughing at him, and he could only create a clone. Then he smiled again and said to everyone under the stage, I tell you, not to mention 10 clones, I can divide even 100. Haha, it really makes me laugh. Hearing Fengyan's words, everyone in the audience laughed again. Chapter 346 Willing to Gamble. I tell you Fengyan, just because you still want to separate 100 avatars, dream. As long as you can separate 10 avatars, and it is difficult to distinguish the true and false of your body, I will obey you. Not bad. At this time, everyone under the stage laughed at the wind. I don't need you to serve me. If I split 10 avatars, I need you to lose all your money to me. What Fengyan needs most now is money, so naturally he has to find ways to make money and buy skills. No problem, it's not just money, I have it. At this moment, the people in the audience who were watching the fun and didn't think it was a big deal immediately started booing. But if you can't distinguish 10 avatars, then you must kowtow 10,000 times to us. Yes. Boy, now your head is stuck. When everyone said that, they started laughing again. Because they all thought that it was impossible for Kazama to display 10 clones. And at this time, when Fengyan saw that these people were so arrogant, he immediately smiled coldly. Immediately after that, he was ready to use the hand seal to cast his clone. This is the Sasuke who was about to leave, and was attracted by the bet that everyone was making now. When he saw that Kazama was willing to abide by the bet and displayed 10 clones, Sasuke sneered immediately. Even the genius of the Uchiha clan can't display 10 clones at once, and you can also display 10 clones from the crane seat. This is simply impossible. Just when Sasuke laughed at Kazama in his heart, the scene in front of him almost scared him to the ground. It turned out that when everyone did not believe that Kazama could display 10 clones, the handprint in the wind was knotted, followed by a few bangs. 10 clones have appeared in front of everyone again. What? How is this possible? This is absolutely impossible. Don't say Sasuke at this time. Even the teacher, Uruka, was stunned by Kazama's actions. At this time, those who bet with the wind were also stunned. They never expected that the tail of the crane in Fengyan could display 10 clones at once. This is clearly genius. And that's when everyone was shocked. Fengyan said to the crowd again, I can not only display 10 clones, but I can even have 100 clones. As soon as the voice of the wind fell, it appeared with the continuous smoke. The 100 clones of the wind have all appeared in front of everyone. Ding! Successfully cast 100 clones. Reward the host with the hand seal free skill. No hand seal. In other words, if you perform ninjutsu in the future, you won't need a hand seal. Awesome, awesome. Just when Kazama was excited about his newly acquired skill, everyone in the audience has been shocked and fled by Fengyan's feat of performing hundreds of clones in one breath. Damn it. Monster. Run. At this time, the people had changed from the previous panic to the current panic. Because they have never seen a ninja school student who can display 100 clones at once. This completely subverted their worldview. It's something they can't even dream of. At this time, the few people who had been betting with Fengjan had already seen that Fengjan was so powerful now. Directly saw Yazi prepares to escape while the chaos. It's a pity that under the order of Fengjan, his hundreds of clones surrounded these students firmly. Since you lost the bet, is it time for you to pay now? Hearing Kazama's words, those ninja students who were arrogant just now could only rush to pay Kazama. Chapter 365 Rehanging Otsutsuki Kim. And the reason why the Wind Room needs these people's money at this time. It is because Kazama needs money to buy space ninjutsu, that is, the Imperial Palace of the Sky. As long as Kazama comes to the Imperial Palace of Heaven, Kazama will be able to restore all his strengths. At that time, Kazama will be able to return to the main world, and then hang Otsutsuki Kim. And at this time, it was just as the wind had thought. The money that these ninja students lost to themselves was indeed enough to buy the Imperial Palace by themselves. So Fengjan immediately turned on the system to become stronger by charging money. Purchase the super time and space ninjutsu of the Heavenly Imperial Naka. Goodbye everyone, although this world is not bad, but I still need to return to the main world as soon as possible to deal with the big Otsutsuki trio. At this moment, as soon as the wind's voice fell, he immediately cast the Heaven's Royal Palace. And then as expected. At this time, as soon as he came to the starting ball space in the Imperial Palace, Kazama immediately obtained all the previous abilities. It can be said that there are all kinds of different fire and burning systems. Although the previous system of charging money to become stronger is not bad. However, the Fenju system in Fengjan has reached its full level. Kazama will naturally not reselect a low-level system. Otsutsuki Kim, long time no see. What? How is this possible? At this time, that Otsutsuki Kim was absolutely unexpected. He clearly sent Kazama to a different dimension and sealed Kazama's ability. But now Kazama is still out of his control. Otsutsuki Kim, the space you created is not bad, but unfortunately I prefer this space, because this space can hang and beat you Otsutsuki people. I'm mad at me too. Hearing Kazama's ridicule, Otsutsuki Kim's face-to-face effort used all his strengths. It seems that the wind room is going to be broken into thousands of pieces. It's a pity that he is facing the wind room with 23 kinds of different fires. And Kazama can also absorb other people's ninjutsu and use other people's ninjutsu for his own use. So even this Otsutsuki Kinshiki is the family that they. This Otsutsuki Kim is, he can't be the opponent of that Kazama. But now this Otsutsuki Kinshiki doesn't know Kazama's true strength. He just saw that Kazama had humiliated their Otsutsuki clan before, especially Otsutsuki Momoshiki. Therefore, Otsutsuki Kinshiki, who is Otsutsuki Momoshiki's entourage, is the one who wants to break the corpse into thousands of pieces and smash the bones into ashes. That Otsutsuki Kinshiki has no Rinnegan, but this Otsutsuki Kinshiki has a special ability. That is, you can turn your chakra into various ninja tools to attack your opponent. At this time, when Otsutsuki Kinshiki raised one hand, a giant axe that opened the sky immediately slashed towards Kazama's head. At this time, Otsutsuki Kinshiki slashed towards Kazama's head. While sneering at the wind, he said, I tell you Xiao Zamao, don't think that you can force yourself in front of me because of Rinnegan coercion. I will tell you that this chakra tool of mine can resist your reincarnation. Coercive. Hearing Otsutsuki Kinshiki's words, Kazama was shocked. Then he secretly said, "Rinnegan's coercion is so awesome, I don't believe you can resist it." Kazama thought of this, and directly exerted Rinnegan's coercion again. But what Kazama didn't expect was that what this Otsutsuki Kinshiki said was right now. Chapter 366 Scared P. Otsutsuki Kim. Once Kazama's current reincarnation pressure was exerted, it really didn't knock that Otsutsuki Kinshiki into the air. This suddenly surprised the wind in the heart. Then Kazama immediately took Rinnegan and looked at Otsutsuki Kinshiki's golden body. Only then did I realize that Otsutsuki Kinshiki's body could be blurred anytime, anywhere. Obviously more powerful than Obito's blurring ability. And the weapon of this Otsutsuki Kinshiki is made of chakra. Therefore, he could completely avoid the shock wave of Samsara's coercion, which naturally surprised Nakazama. It's too late, it's too fast, just in these few moments. Otsutsuki Kinshiki's giant axe had already been cut on Kazama's head. Hee hee, little stray hair, now I see how arrogant and domineering you are. Just when Otsutsuki Kinshiki thought Kazama would be killed by himself. But he never expected the giant axe made of chakra. A face-to-face effort was smashed into two by the wind's body. This sudden change suddenly surprised Otsutsuki Kinshiki. And even Otsutsuki Momoshiki in the back had an incredible expression on his face. After all, this Otsutsuki Momoshiki is the master of Otsutsuki Kinshiki. He is very aware of the ability of Otsutsuki Kim's chakra weapon. This chakra weapon is very awesome and very powerful. And even Otsutsuki Daoshi himself did not dare to fight against this chakra weapon. But now Kazama's body is actually so tough. A single face-to-face effort, Datangmu Kinshiki's chakra weapon was shaken into two pieces. Why didn't this frighten him? At this time, Otsutsuki Kim saw that Kazama's defense was so strong. Immediately, he was shocked, and hurried back a few steps. You little bastard, are you a turtle? Why is your defense so strong? Hee hee hee. After listening to Otsutsuki Kinshiki's question, Kazama immediately sneered and said, Otsutsuki Kinshiki, I advise you to keep your mouth clean, not because my defense is strong, but because your attack is too rubbish, so you are the only one can't hurt me one bit. It really pissed me off. At this time that Otsutsuki Kinshiki was a short-tempered person. Therefore, as soon as he heard Fengyan's words, he immediately became furious and violent. He immediately put away his chakra weapon. Afterwards, he used physical techniques to kill the wind. At this time, once Otsutsuki Kinshiki's physical skills were used, the power of that pair of fists could be said to be unparalleled. Even Kazama couldn't help but be shocked by Otsutsuki Kim's physical skills. This Otsutsuki clan is really awesome. Just looking at the physical skills of this Otsutsuki Kinshiki, it has already reached the level of Might Guy's 8 doors. At this time, Kazama thought in his heart, and he confronted Otsutsuki Kinshiki again. At this time, let Otsutsuki Kim use that super strange power, coupled with his current superb physical skills. Naturally, it is invincible and invincible. And no one has ever been able to live under the attack of his physical skills. Therefore, he thought that since his chakra weapon could not hurt Kazama, then his physical skills will definitely be able to cause internal injuries to Kazama. Even if Kazama's exterior defense is awesome and powerful, it's useless to him. Chapter 367 Fancy Hanging Otsutsuki Momo. But this Otsutsuki Kinshiki did not expect that now Kazama is not only particularly strong in defense, and Kazama's super strange power is on par with that of Otsutsuki Kinshiki. At this time, Otsutsuki Kim saw Kazama being beaten by himself and retreated. Immediately, he sneered at the wind and said, "Let me tell you, Xiaozha Mao, in front of my super physique, no one can be my opponent." Boom. At this time, Otsutsuki Kinshiki's voice had not yet fallen, and he was directly punched by the wind and flew hundreds of meters away. This suddenly scared Otsutsuki Kinshiki and Otsutsuki Momoshiki to the ground. What? How is this possible? It is absolutely impossible. At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki was burned by Fang Kazama's strange fire, so he is still healing. He originally thought that even if Otsutsuki Kinshiki couldn't beat Kazama, he would still be able to tie Kazama. Only in this way can he start to deal with Kazama when his wounds are healed. But he never expected that his capable subordinate, Otsutsuki Kim, would be so vulnerable. It was so easy to be hit by the wind with a bruised nose and a bruised face. This can suddenly make that Otsutsuki Momoshiki annoyed. At this time, that Otsutsuki Kinshiki was absolutely unexpected. There are still people on Earth who can match the monstrous power of their own Otsutsuki clan. This naturally shocked Otsutsuki Kinshiki in his heart. So Otsutsuki Kinshiki immediately looked up and down in the wind. You little bastard, you are definitely not fucking human, you are definitely a monster, say, what the hell are you? Clap clap clap. At this time, Otsutsuki Kinshiki still had not finished speaking, and was kicked to the ground again by Kazama's 3 punches and 2 kicks. I tell you, you don't need to tell me who I am, my brothers will naturally tell you, and now it's your Otsutsuki family who invaded our Earth first, so it's not me that should be questioned, but you, don't think you Otsutsuki clan are from heaven, so you can be arrogant and domineering in front of us ninjas. Don't give me this shit. At this time, the healed Otsutsuki Momoshiki had already flown to Kazama. Then he immediately cursed in the wind with a sneer on his face. I tell you this little bastard, you'd better not drag words in front of me, and don't give me us to invade your Earth. Let me ask you, if our Otsutsuki clan didn't come to your Earth to plant the sacred tree, would you people master ninjutsu? You human beings can only use hand-to-hand combat. And now if the traitor Otsutsuki Kagaya devoured the fruit of the divine tree, and later distributed chakra to you, how could you master ninjutsu and build a ninja village? Now you thanks to our Otsutsuki family for what we have achieved today. Quote. But you bastard, now you have become so powerful, you are not only not grateful to our Otsutsuki clan, but you even dare to slander us. It is really unbearable. You don't give me this set too. Kazama knew that Otsutsuki Momo was telling the truth, but the scenery disagreed. Because Kagaya wants to thank Otsutsuki Kagaya, because Kagaya gave ninjutsu to everyone. It is impossible for him to thank this Otsutsuki Momoshiki, because this Otsutsuki Momoshiki is a heinous person. Chapter 368 The Otsutsuki family is nothing but this. No one has ever asked you to come to our Earth to plant a sacred tree. And if Otsutsuki Kagaya doesn't devour your sacred tree, then the sacred tree will devour all of us humans on Earth, and your goal will be achieved. Do you really think us people are so easy to bully? Hee, you little bastard, it seems that you know a lot. At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki did not listen to his words once he saw Kazama. Immediately, he sneered at the wind room again. I'm telling you little bastard. Now you really think you can ride on my neck and shit after you beat me and my followers one after another. Hee, I don't care if I can ride on your neck and shit, because I never like riding on other people's necks to shit, but if you dare to continue to be arrogant and domineering in our ninja world, then I definitely won't be able to spare you. You. Well, you little bastard, you are really arrogant and domineering. If that's the case, then I'll let you see the true power of our Otsutsuki clan. At this moment, as soon as Otsutsuki Momoshiki's voice fell, he immediately winked at Otsutsuki Kim. At this time, the big Otsutsuki Kim rushed towards Otsutsuki Momoshiki. Then Otsutsuki Momo immediately turned on his pair of Yuhi-colored Rinagans. A single effort, the Otsutsuki Kinshiki turned into a Yuhi-colored fruit. And then swallowed directly into the stomach. It's too cruel, isn't it? At this time, Naruto, Sasuke and others in the back were naturally shocked when they saw that Otsutsuki Momoshiki had swallowed all their followers before. It also made them discuss the Otsutsuki clan even more. Therefore, in the eyes of their ninjas, their companions are their good brothers who live and die together. In order to kill the enemy, and harm the life of the companion, this is something that their ninja absolutely cannot do. But now this Otsutsuki Momoshiki did this, which naturally made them angry. At this time, Kazama was also very disgusted by this approach of Datongmu Momoshiki. But he knew that the reason why Otsutsuki Momoshiki was going to devour Otsutsuki Kinshiki now was because he wanted to live with a stronger power. And at this time, it was just as Kazami had expected. Swallowing Otsutsuki Kim, Otsutsuki Momoshiki's strength has indeed become very powerful and very powerful. Just when Kazama was thinking about it, Otsutsuki Momoshiki's eyes had turned into golden Rinnegan. And it was the golden 6-tomo Rinnegan, which naturally surprised the wind. You must know that Rinnegan is also different in color. The most common is purple, followed by blue, Yuhi color and the most powerful gold. At this time, with the appearance of Otsutsuki's pair of golden 6-tomo Rinnegan, the momentum alone was enough to shock everyone present. And this time that Otsutsuki Momoshiki not only possessed great power. At the same time, it also has an extremely high speed. After a few face-to-face efforts, he directly killed the wind. Fortunately, Rinnegan of Kazama had already seen the attack route of the Otsutsuki Momo clan clearly. Only then did he evade Otsutsuki Momoshiki's attack with his heavenly hand. And this is due to the display of the heavenly hands in the wind. The purple Rinnegan in the wind also immediately became the Rinnegan of the 6-tomo. Chapter 369 I'm not arrogant, I'm just jerk. At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki never expected that Kazama also has 6-tomo Rinnegans that are unique to the Otsutsuki family. This naturally made that Otsutsuki Momoshiki angry. Although this Otsutsuki Momoshiki knows Kazama's strength is not simple. But he never expected that Kazama actually mastered so many secret arts from their OGI Otsutsuki clan. At this point that Otsutsuki Momoshiki was getting more and more angry the more he thought about it. Because in his eyes, Fengjian is just a piece of garbage, a pariah. This pariah actually mastered the art of their Otsutsuki clan. So in the eyes of Otsutsuki Dao, Kazama has insulted their Otsutsuki clan, and he is naturally very annoyed in his heart. So Otsutsuki Momoshiki immediately pointed at Kazama's nose and scolded, "You little bastard, if I don't kill you now, I'm not a member of the Datongmu clan, and I will not only kill you, but also get your Rinnegan back and save you from defilement of our Otsutsuki clan." Hehe, don't give me this set. Who told you that Rinnegan can only belong to your Otsutsuki clan? I am a man in the wind, and I can naturally open Rinnegan. Xiao Mao, although your 6-tomo Rinnegans are indeed shocking and surprising to me now, but Rinnegan also has a gap in strength, and now my pair of golden 6-tomo Rinnegans can easily beat you. Purple 6-tomo Rinnegan out. As soon as Otsutsuki Momoshiki finished speaking, he flew to Kazama in a single effort. After a few breaths of effort, the wind was defeated in a row. At this time, Naruto and Sasuke never expected it. Actually they will be beaten down. They either said Kazama or deliberately let Otsutsuki Momo get the upper hand. Because the higher a person climbs, the more painful he will fall. Besides, Kazama has absolute defense against volcanic stone flames. So now the body of the wind has reached the point where it is invincible. Therefore, just relying on this Otsutsuki Momoshiki's attack, could not harm Kazama at all. At this time, Otsutsuki Kinshiki didn't know Kazama's idea. He also thinks that the wind room is a piece of trash. He thinks that he now has the strength to hang and beat the wind room. But he was expecting that after several rounds now, not only did he fail to hang in the wind room. On the contrary, he was also divided by 3 and 5 by Kazama, absorbing all his attacks. This suddenly shocked Otsutsuki Kinshiki in his heart. What? How is this possible? Now that my attack power has gathered super dense chakra, it is impossible for you to swallow it. How on earth did you do it? Hehe, you have no right to ask how I did it, and there is no need to know. Kazama said, and the trash sneered at Otsutsuki Momo. Because Kazama is now able to absorb Otsutsuki Momo's attack successfully. It was Fengjian who used the burning juice system in his body. You must know that this burning juice system can absorb all attacks. Therefore, Kazama can easily counteract Otsutsuki Momoshiki's attack. It is said that if the opponent's chakra is absorbed all, then the opponent's attack power will not have any damage. But at this time, Otsutsuki Daoshi never expected that this absorption of ninjutsu was originally his forte. Chapter 370 I Can Finally Let Go. Now it has been used by the wind with pure fire, which naturally made Otsutsuki Daoshi's heart burst into anger, and he was furious. So this Otsutsuki Momoshiki once again used all his powers to kill the wind. I saw that Daoshi Otsutsuki moved with one hand at this time, and a huge chakra ball appeared in front of everyone. This is my Rasengan. At this time, Naruto in the back was shocked when he saw this trick of Otsutsuki Momoshiki. At this time, Momoshiki, Datangmu, seemed to have heard Naruto's exclamation behind him. Then he smiled and said to him, "Hehe, you are right, this is indeed your Rasengan, but your Rasengan was absorbed by me before, and now I have increased it to a super awesome, super powerful level. So your Rasengan is no match for my Rasengan." What? Annoy me too. At this time, once the two saw that his trump card was actually used by Otsutsuki Momoshiki Master, it was even carried forward. This naturally made Naruto angry. At this time, when Kazama saw this Otsutsuki Momoshiki, he could actually use other people's attacks as his own, and he could even increase it and bounce back. This suddenly made the wind laugh instead of angry. Because Fengjian has not dealt with such a powerful enemy for a long time. At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki used this super awesome Rasengan directly to kill the wind. However, after the wind room looked at it, he was not afraid at all. Immediately, he probed with one hand, and immediately summoned the huge monster that Susanoo had turned into nothingness. At this time, the emptiness-swallowing flames can devour all things in the world. Therefore, a face-to-face effort swallowed this super awesome Rasengan into the body. What? How is this possible? At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki thought that Kazama had nothing to do. But he never expected that Kazama could still reach his attack so easily. And that was when Otsutsuki Momoshiki was shocked. Kazama came to him with a sneer, and immediately turned on the god-level Susanoo. At this time, with the appearance of this god-level Susanoo, Kazama and Susanoo's 6 arms formed a mark at the same time. Otsutsuki Momoshiki, although it is said that you Datangmu clan are all the heinous people now, but in the end I still want to thank you, because without you, a powerful enemy, I really would not have the chance to manage such a hardy battle. Knowing that I have always been afraid to fight against others, because my ninjutsu attack range is too wide and its power is too great. It will not only kill the enemy, but even hurt the innocent, but now there is only you here, I'm the two of you, so now I can easily hang you. As soon as Kazama's voice fell, he immediately waved at Naruto Sasuke and the others behind him. At this time, Naruto and the others knew that Kazama was about to start pretending. Therefore, everyone hurriedly fled far away. At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki still didn't know what kind of tricks one had. Therefore, as soon as I heard that one was going to fire at full force, I would do everything in my power to hang myself. This suddenly made Otsutsuki Momoshiki sneer in his heart. You little bastard, no matter how awesome and powerful you are just a fucking earthling. I don't believe that a trash earthling like you can beat our Otsutsuki clan. And just when Otsutsuki Momoshiki kept laughing at Kazama, suddenly, a huge dark cloud appeared in the sky. Chapter 371 God's Power. At this moment, Otsutsuki Momoshiki was shocked when he saw it. So hastily cast his pair of 6 Tomo's Rinnegan and looked up. Only then did I discover that the shadow on the sky was not actually a dark cloud, but a huge meteorite. This naturally made Otsutsuki Momoshiki even more shocked. Because even Datangmu Momoshiki himself cannot summon this extraterrestrial meteor as a means of attack. But now Kazama has already performed this technique. And he also released this technique on top of his head, which naturally made that Otsutsuki Momoshiki terrified. You little bastard, You're not really a fucking person, you're a monster. At this moment, Otsutsuki Momoji scolded Kazama while preparing to fly away. It's a pity that no one can escape in front of the current Kazegian technique. God's power meteorite falls from the sky. Voice fell. The meteorite that fell from the sky hit the Otsutsuki Momoshiki with a face-to-face effort. If it hits an ordinary person, then this person is afraid that a face-to-face effort will be beaten into nothingness. But at this time, that Otsutsuki Momoshiki is a person with high mana. I saw that Otsutsuki Momoshiki had a face-to-face kung fu, and hurriedly performed Yomatsu Hirasaka to transfer the meteorite from the sky to a different space. At this time, when Otsutsuki Momoshiki saw that he had completely avoided this meteor, he immediately let out a sigh of relief. Then he said with a sneer on the wind again, "How about Xiaozamao? Do you think ninjutsu can be very arrogant and domineering as long as it has a wide range of attacks and a lot of power? Let me tell you, your cognition is very wrong. Any art is rubbish in front of me, Yomatsu Hirasaka, because I can transfer it to another dimension endlessly." "Oh, really? Then I really want to see how awesome and powerful you are." At this time, Kazama smiled coldly, and then pointed to the top of Otsutsuki Momoshiki's head again. This suddenly puzzled Otsutsuki Momoshiki's heart. He still didn't know what the wind was doing now. So he looked up subconsciously, and suddenly he slumped to the ground in fright. It turned out that a meteorite even larger than before appeared in the sky at this time. "What? How is this possible? You little bastard, what tricks did you use?" I said. "Are you human?" As soon as he saw Kazama, he was able to summon meteorites one after another as a means of attack. At this moment, even Otsutsuki Momoshiki of the Celestial Clan was shocked. "Don't worry about whether I'm human or not. In short, I'll ask you how you want to resist this second meteorite." "I resist your mother." At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki dared to hang and beat himself one after another when he saw Kazama. He even dared to humiliate himself while hanging and beating himself. Naturally, he was furious and violent. So a face-to-face kung fu, they immediately prepared to fly away. But that Otsutsuki Momoshiki though very fast. But in front of the ninjutsu that the power of the gods in the wind fell from the sky. This Otsutsuki Momoshiki peaches, it is useless. Now the second meteorite in the wind has completely hit that Otsutsuki Momoshiki. Will that Otsutsuki Momoshiki hit is scarred. Chapter 372 Yes I am God. So that Otsutsuki Momoshiki hurriedly cast Yomatsu Hirasaka again. Then he used his super powerful healing ability unique to the Otsutsuki clan. This prevented himself from being injured by the second meteorite in the wind. At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki wanted to run away. But that Otsutsuki Taoshi suddenly thought, "This little brat's ninjutsu is indeed very good, very powerful, it is beyond my imagination, but no matter how good or bad he is, it is impossible for him use this God's power meteorite one after another. As far as I know, this God's power meteorite will consume a lot of chakra. If he can summon a third one, then I think he will definitely run out of chakra." And died. Just when Otsutsuki Momoshiki thought it was impossible for Kazama to summon a third meteor to attack him. However, he suddenly realized that his previous thoughts were nothing but bullshit. Because now Kazama has easily summoned the third meteorite. I tell you Datong Mutao, now I have an infinite chakra physique, so not to mention 300, 3000, I can easily summon them. If not worried that the earth can't bear it, I would have summoned countless meteorites to kill you. What? Anger me too. At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki saw that he was pretending to be forced one after another, but he was slapped in the face by the wind's continuous speed of light. How could this not annoy that Otsutsuki Momo? And at this moment, that Otsutsuki Peach suddenly became wise in a hurry. Now that I, Yomatsu Hirasaka, can evade the attack, why can't I cast Yomatsu Hirasaka on the top of the head of this little stray hair in Kazama, who is moving the meteor from the sky? As soon as he thought of this Otsutsuki Momoshiki was instantly delighted. Immediately after that, two Yomatsu Hirasaka were cast at the same time. One is used to absorb meteorites from the sky, and the other is used to release meteorites from the sky. And at this time, to be honest, Kazama really didn't expect that this Otsutsuki Daoshi had been approached by himself, and he didn't expect him to be able to jump off the wall in a hurry. At this time, Fengjian saw that a huge meteorite from the sky appeared on the top of his head, which made him sneer. And this time that Otsutsuki Momoshiki, once seeing his plan succeed, when even pointed to the nose of the wind, he scolded loudly. He, what's up, little stray hairs in the wind, now my trick is to use his own way to pay him back, and you have been hunting geese all the year round, but now you have been pecked by the geese. I said that you are Otsutsuki Momoshiki, you are obviously not from our earth, and you can use our words quite well. Don't give me this shit, I don't care what you say or not, in short, I'm going to kill you now. Just when Otsutsuki Momo thought that Kazama would definitely die. But suddenly I found that there was another scene between Hefeng. This suddenly surprised Otsutsuki Taoshi again. Although Otsutsuki Momoshiki knew that what Kazama used now was ninjutsu. But even with space ninjutsu, it is impossible to instantly change the scene and enter another world. But now, he was actually pulled into this other space by a face-to-face effort by the wind. This naturally shocked Daoshi Otsutsuki, because he had never seen such a strange space technique. Chapter 373 Heavens Royal. At this moment, Otsutsuki Momoshiki was extremely shocked, and was about to ask Kazama what kind of ninjutsu he was using now. However, he suddenly discovered that the pair of 6 Tomo Rinnegan's that Kazama had previously turned into a 9 Tomo reincarnation Sharingan. This suddenly surprised Otsutsuki Momoshiki again. Because that Otsutsuki Momoshiki knew that even if they were the Datong Mu clan, it was impossible for them to have the reincarnation Sharingan of these 9 Tomo. Only the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, column power, that is, the one who devoured the divine tree, can have this reincarnation Sharingan. So this Otsutsuki Momoshiki was immediately full of resentment, and then said to the wind with a face full of horror, "You little bastard, could it be that you devoured the sacred tree?" "Haha, I really didn't devour the divine tree, but I have the power of the divine tree. Don't give me this shit, I don't believe that you, a mere human, can withstand the power of this divine tree." At this moment, as soon as Otsutsuki Momo's voice fell, he immediately killed the wind again. But now that he hadn't hit Fengjian, he suddenly saw 2 or 3 kinds of strange fires appearing in Fengyan's body. A few face-to-face efforts, these strange fires surrounded the Otsutsuki Peach clan firmly. And he burned his newly healed body to the ground again. At this time, Otsutsuki Momoshiki suddenly realized that the power of these 23 kinds of different fires has far exceeded his imagination. Now even the unique healing ability of their Datongmu clan cannot heal. This suddenly shocked the heart of Otsutsuki Momoshiki. Just when Otsutsuki Momo was terrified, Kazama came to Otsutsuki Momo with a sneer. "I tell you, if I want to solve you, then I can kill you in minutes, but because my 23 different fires are too powerful, I couldn't use them on you just now on Earth, but now I have already cast the Heavens Royal, you are now in my space, so I can hang you anytime, anywhere. Don't give me a fuck like this, what is in the heaven and the earth, I don't believe that you little bastard can endure me." Otsutsuki Momo said that and cast Yomatsu Hirasaka again. He knew that he was no longer a match for Kazami no matter what. So he had to flee as far as he could. But what Otsutsuki Momoshiki never expected was, now, as Yomatsu Hirasaka, he can't play any role in the Heaven's Royal Palace of the Wind. This suddenly made Otsutsuki Momoshiki a little unbelievable. Because in the past his Yomatsu Hirasaka has never made a mistake. But now, he was actually restrained by Kazama, the Imperial Palace of the Sky. This shows that the heavenly Imperial Palace of the Kazama has far surpassed that of Yomatsu Hirasaka. That's why I made mistakes in Yomatsu Hirasaka. At this time, Kazama has already indicated that he wants to hang this Otsutsuki Momoshiki. Therefore, with a face-to-face effort, Kazama pulled that Otsutsuki Momoshiki to another dimension, the lava dimension. Then Kazama looked at it with one hand and used that lava fire to burn that Otsutsuki Momoshiki with bruises all over his body. Then, before that Otsutsuki Momo could react, Kazama took him to the ice and snow space again. At this time, Otsutsuki Daoshi really felt the taste of the ice and fire. Chapter 374 So Arrogant. Although Otsutsuki Daoshi has been hit by these heaven-defying moves by Kazama, he is dying. But Kazama didn't stop there, but immediately used the supergravity space, desert space, and so on. A few face-to-face efforts, Kazama made Otsutsuki Momo turn around in the 5 spaces in the Imperial Palace. The one who hit Otsutsuki Momoshiki was scarred and bloodless. Just when Kazama was about to cast a different fire to burn that Otsutsuki Momoshiki into nothingness, Kazama suddenly realized that the Otsutsuki trio were not the only ones who came to Earth now. Because there is another Otsutsuki Aikishi who never showed up. I still don't know the strength of this Otsutsuki Aikizu, so it seems that instead of killing Otsutsuki Momoshiki, it is better to use that Otsutsuki Momoshiki for myself. Thinking of this, Kazama immediately cast the strongest demonic illusion Kotoamatsukami on the Otsutsuki Momo. But who knows that this Kotoamatsukami cannot control the people of the Otsutsuki family. At this time, although Daoshi Otsutsuki was on the verge of being beaten by the wind, he was still conscious. He also knew what Kazama wanted to do to himself, so seeing Kazama's current Kotoamatsukami failed to control himself. So Otsutsuki Momo immediately laughed in the wind. Little bizarre, our Otsutsuki clan are the heavenly clan. You use your earthly ninjutsu to control my dignified Otsutsuki clan. It's just delusional. No one can control me, especially you rubbish bastard. But just when Otsutsuki Daoshi kept laughing at Kazama, he suddenly saw Kazama give him a cold smile. Then, when Fengjian probed with one hand, a coquettish white fire appeared in his body for 100 years. And this strange fire is the pure lotus demon fire that can turn the enemy into a fire slave for himself to drive. This was waiting for that Otsutsuki Momoshiki to react. When Kazama said it was too late, he immediately put Kaden, fire style, the pure lotus demon, into the body of Otsutsuki Momo. Then Otsutsuki Daoshi was directly transformed into a fire slave by Kazama. I saw that Otsutsuki Daoshi's body that was all white at this time directly turned into a body surrounded by flames. Although Otsutsuki Momoshiki's appearance has changed nowadays. However, his abilities still maintained the super advanced level before his death. And now Otsutsuki Momoshiki has completely surrendered to Kazama. Then I saw that Otsutsuki Momoshiki knelt directly on his knees and kept kowtow to the wind. After all, now Otsutsuki Momoshiki's wisdom is completely owned by Kazama, so naturally Kazama asks him to do what he does. Seeing that Otsutsuki Momoshiki, a super awesome person, has surrendered, Kazama is naturally overjoyed. So Kazama immediately brought Otsutsuki Daoshi, who had become a fire slave, back to the Earth space. At this time, Naruto, Sasuke and others, because they saw Kazami previously use the Imperial Palace of Heaven, and disappeared without a trace. So I have always been very worried about the whereabouts of the wind. So they are looking forward to. At this moment, Kazama and the Otsutsuki Momo who turned into a fire slave suddenly appeared. Naruto and Sasuke let out a sigh of relief. At this time, because of the change in Otsutsuki Dao's appearance, Naruto, Sasuke and others naturally did not know him. So he immediately rushed to the wind and asked. I said, Big Brother Kazama, who is next to you now? Yeah, why haven't we seen him before? And where did the powerful Otsutsuki Momo go? Chapter 375 Scientific Ninja. Hee, what is this? Hearing Sasuke and others eagerly asking at this time, Kazama immediately smiled and nodded at him. Simply, this person is to make Otsutsuki Momoshiki. What? How is this possible? Naruto and Sasuke were shocked when they heard the words of the wind. After all, they had seen Otsutsuki Momoshiki before. You must know that Otsutsuki Daoshi is completely different from the appearance of this Huo slave today. And they also knew that the Otsutsuki Peach clan was rebellious, so how could he surrender to Kazama? Kazama also knew that they were shocked, so he immediately explained what happened to them. And when Naruto, Sasuke and others heard that the powerful Otsutsuki Dao clan was actually turned into a fire slave by Kazama, this naturally made everyone admire the wind even more, and it really shocked them in their hearts. So Naruto and Sasuke held hands and bowed to each other. After all, Funyun's current strength is very powerful and very powerful. And at this time, the four shadows on the other side saw that the strength of the wind was not only the same as that of the past. It was even more powerful than it was back then, which naturally shocked them even more. So they all complimented the wind. And at this time, once Fengjian heard everyone's compliments, he naturally took advantage of it. Although Kazama is not a very happy person, but everyone likes to hear other people's boast. And this time because Kazama has resolved this trio of Otsutsuki. As a result, one escaped and one died, and the other surrendered to Kazama. Therefore, the Chunin exam held in the 5 major countries will naturally start again. And this time with the Chunin exam. Those people had already turned their attention to the contestants to Kazama who had saved their Chunin examination room. After all, these people had seen the superpower of the Otsutsuki trio before. They thought that if there was no wind, maybe they would really die. Therefore, everyone is now complimenting the wind. At this time, the leader of Konoha's scientific ninja research team had a great opinion on Kazama. Originally, he wanted to take advantage of this Chunin exam to launch his own scientific ninja gear. But now, when he saw Fengjian, a newcomer who actually stole his limelight, he was instantly furious. Although the leader of this scientific ninja team had heard of Kazama's deeds before. But because this person was very arrogant, he didn't take that wind in his eyes at all. He thought about the scientific forbearance he had created, but it was very powerful and powerful. It is possible to absorb anyone's ninjutsu into his scientific ninja gear and use it. And don't waste the ninja's own chakra. Therefore, the leader of the scientific ninja team thought that the momentum of the wind was so fierce. If he defeats Kazama with scientific ninja gear, then his own name will also be famous in the entire ninja world. By that time, my scientific ninja tools will be sold out of stock, so wouldn't I be able to become a billionaire? As soon as he thought of this, the scientific ninja tool walked in front of the team leader and immediately flew to Kazama. Then, in front of everyone's eyes, he said that he was going to follow the trend one-on-one. After hearing the words of the leader of the scientific ninja team, everyone immediately burst into laughter. Chapter 376 I'm so hard. At this time, even Sasuke, who has always been unsmiling, was laughing backwards and forwards. Kazama didn't know the careful thinking of the leader of the scientific ninja team, so he immediately asked him suspiciously, I said you, the leader of the scientific ninja team, don't you study your scientific field well, but you have to go head-to-head with me. I haven't signed up for this Chunin exam now, why are you going head-to-head with me? Oh, it's easy. At this time, the leader of the scientific ninja team knew that Kazama would reject his proposal. So he immediately said the remarks he had thought up earlier in the wind. Let me tell you Fengjian, your strength is indeed very good now, very powerful, but no matter how good you are, you can't be an opponent of our scientific ninja equipment. In addition, I know that you are only a genin now. Since this is the case, then you are also obliged to take the Chunin exam jointly organized by our 5 countries. Besides, if you believe that you don't agree to fight against me now, then I can think that you are afraid of our scientific ninja equipment. At that time, I can use our scientific ninja equipment to defeat you, the hero who saved the ninja world, come. Use it as a slogan to sell my scientific ninja equipment, and you can't refuse it at that time, because these are your defaults, after all, you dare not fight against me. It really pissed me off. At this time, Naruto, who was Hokage, was furious when he saw that his subordinates dared to disrespect Kazama. So he immediately prepared to reprimand the leader of the scientific ninja team. At this time, the wind immediately stopped Naruto. Then, smiling again, the leader of the scientific ninja team said, "Okay, since you want to duel me so much, then I will satisfy your request." "Oh, really? That's really good." As soon as he heard the wind, the leader of the scientific ninja team was overjoyed. After all, he knew that no matter how arrogant and powerful the wind was, you can use the scientific ninja to absorb Kazama's ability. He thought that even if he couldn't defeat Kazama, Kazama couldn't hurt himself. After all, he is very fancy about his scientific ninja tools. But he didn't know that the scientific ninja tool also had a limit. General C-level ninjutsu, scientific ninja tools can be absorbed to some extent. But a shot like Kazama is Super S level, or Super SS level ninjutsu. Even that scientific ninja tool cannot be absorbed. But the leader of this scientific ninja team is simply a person with high aspirations. Relying on his own merits and achievements, he believes that no one is an opponent of his scientific ninja. You must know that he didn't even pay attention to Hokage Naruto before. How could he possibly put Kazama in his eyes now? At this time, with a face-to-face effort from the leader of the scientific ninja team, he immediately came to the fighting arena with his fancy scientific ninja gear. At this time, the crowd watching, when they saw the leader of the scientific ninja team, actually wanted to follow the trend. This naturally made them burst into laughter in their hearts. At this time, although the leader of the scientific ninja team is a very ambitious person, he also loves face very much. Therefore, as soon as he saw that everyone dared to laugh at him, he immediately became furious and furious. So a face-to-face kung fu immediately insulted everyone. Chapter 377 Scientific Ninja Tool vs Ninjutsu. You bastards, you dare to laugh at me. It's really suitable for people to say that you can't bear it, and then I will use my scientific forbearance tool to blind your dog's eyes. It was so rude. Yeah, you're such an asshole. At this time, the crowd watching, when they saw this scientific ninja team leader, dared to scold him and others. Immediately, the leader of the scientific ninja team rushed to the unceremoniously. At this time, Na Fengjian hurriedly stopped the scolding between the two parties after seeing it. Because Kazama knew that the leader of the scientific ninja team just wanted to make a name for himself in front of everyone. Only in this way can this scientific ninja team leader advertise his scientific ninja equipment. Only in this way can he make his scientific ninja gear sell out. It's just that Fengjian is not willing to make wedding dresses for others. So Kazama immediately urged the leader of the scientific ninja team. Now our game should start quickly. Oh, alright, no problem. At this time, the leader of the scientific ninja team made a face-to-face effort, and immediately displayed 5 attacks of wind, thunder, water, fire and earth at the same time for 100 years. In a face-to-face effort, he was killed in the wind. Hehe, let me tell you Fengjian, no matter how powerful and arrogant you are now, you should also understand the truth of the 5 elements. Now that all 5 of my ninjutsu have killed you, I see how you can avoid it. Just when the leader of the scientific ninja team thought he could take the lead. However, he suddenly found that Kazama had disappeared, which surprised the leader of the scientific ninja team. Only then did the leader of the scientific ninja team realize that Kazama had actually used the telekinesis technique and came behind him. Then Kazama's palm was placed on the neck of the scientific ninja team leader. I don't want to hurt you either, but now you have been taken advantage of by me behind your back, so how should you deal with it now? Hehe, I will deal with your mother. The leader of the scientific ninja team is a person who cannot afford to suffer. As soon as he saw that Fengjian was now taking the lead, he immediately became furious and violent. After a face-to-face kung fu, he immediately used the scientific ninja tool to perform a stand-in technique, escaping from the control of Kazama. Then he insulted the wind again. At this time, Kazama originally wanted to see the face of the scientific ninja team leader as a Konoha ninja, and spare him a dog's life. But Kazama never expected that now the leader of the scientific ninja team would dare to speak rudely at him, and dare to curse at himself. How could Kazama take him out so easily? So Kazama is also a face-to-face kung fu, and immediately cast his S-level Kaden, Fire Style, Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation. Directly killed the leader of the scientific ninja team. This is the leader of the scientific ninja team who saw Kazama's ninjutsu, and immediately sneered. Then he picked up his own scientific ninja gear and prepared to absorb the Kaden, Fire Style, Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation of Kazama. But he didn't expect that his scientific ninja tools also had a limit of absorption. C-rank ninjutsu can be absorbed. Now this Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation is a serious S-rank ninjutsu. How could it be absorbed? Kaden, Fire Style of Kazama shook the ninjutsu-absorbing ninja tool in this person's hand into pieces. Then he sent the leader of the scientific ninja team hundreds of meters away. If it wasn't for Kazama's mercy, the leader of the scientific ninja team would probably be burned to ashes as an achievement. At this time, the leader of the scientific ninja team saw that he was knocked to the ground by the wind. It immediately made him even more annoyed. Then the leader of the scientific ninja team immediately displayed his trump card. At this time, the trump card of the leader of the scientific ninja team was displayed. Not only everyone was surprised, but even the wind room was taken aback. Chapter 378 Damn Scientific Ninja. It turned out that the leader of this scientific ninja gear group actually waved his hand and used his scientific ninja gear to create thousands of clones. And these thousands of avatars are also bound with many dense detonating charms. This sudden change suddenly shocked everyone present, including Kazama. Because as ninjas, they all understand very well. The densely packed detonating charms bound to these thousands of avatars are extremely lethal. A little carelessness will blow people directly into nothingness. Originally, this Chunin exam was forbidding beheading people, and that was all there was to it. But now the leader of this scientific ninja team is actually so arrogant and domineering. To actually dare to face each other and use such a trump card, Feng Jian was naturally angry in his heart. And at this time, it wasn't just Kazama, who was the party involved, who was very annoyed. Even the Five Shadows and Sasuke, who were watching the battle above the arena, were furious in their hearts, and they were furious. They originally thought that even if the leader of the scientific ninja team was arrogant, he would not dare to make any waves in front of the wind. But they didn't expect that the leader of this scientific ninja team was jumping off the wall in a hurry. The fact that they dared to use this method to deal with the wind naturally made their hearts violent. So these people immediately flew to the bottom of the ring and reprimanded the leader of the scientific ninja team. I said you were really arrogant and domineering. Yeah, now do you know that we are conducting the Chunin exam here? Didn't you mean to seriously hurt Kazama by doing this? And even if Kazejian could avoid your attack, wouldn't all the audience around us in the ring be killed by you? Stop giving me the fucking bullshit. At this time, Otsutsuki Ichiji was already angry, and he didn't care whether everyone was dead or alive. In short, he just wanted to kill the wind quickly, and then vent his hatred. And at this time, when Kazama saw the leader of the scientific ninja team, he actually dared to be so arrogant and domineering. Immediately, I was shocked, so I immediately said to him, I tell you, I originally regarded you as a companion for the sake of you being that Konoha ninja, and didn't want to pay too much attention to you, but I didn't expect it. Now, you're so ruthless, and it is obvious that the fighting in the ring is all over, but you are so narrow-minded now, so naturally I will not show mercy to you anymore. Hee, stop talking nonsense to me, what the fuck are you? You told me to be merciful, okay, today I'm going to see why you don't show mercy to me. By the way, I'm telling you in the wind, there are thousands of my detonating charms now, even if you can avoid it, then everyone here can't avoid it. At this moment, as soon as the leader of the scientific ninja team finished speaking, in a face-to-face effort, he immediately instructed his thousands of clones, bound to the dense detonation talismans, and killed them towards Kazama. At this time, if it was an ordinary person, there might be no way to avoid these thousands of detonating talismans. And even if it can be avoided, the surrounding onlookers, as well as those ninjas with low strength, will be killed by these detonating charms. Chapter 379 Shell Tissue appears. However, in front of Kazami, it was easy to avoid these detonating charms. After all, Kazama used that super space ninjutsu in the sky. So Kazama immediately opened his own 9-tomo-s reincarnation Sharingan. Then, with a face-to-face kung fu, he cast the Heavenly Imperial Palace. At this time, the leader of the scientific ninja team hadn't reacted to what was going on. It was pulled by the wind to the ice and snow space. The leader of the scientific ninja team never expected that Kazama actually had the ability to space. This suddenly scared him into a cold sweat and almost collapsed on the ground. Then he hurriedly wanted to detonate his thousands of clones. It's a pity that now he has come to this ice and snow space in the wind. Then it is simply impossible for him to detonate the detonating talisman again. After all, the freezing ability in this ice and snow space is very powerful, very awesome. Now Fengjian just waved his hand gently, and all the thousands of clones were frozen in place. And the detonating talismans on them were immediately frozen into powder. This was so frightening that the wind was extremely frightened. So the leader of the scientific ninja tool group immediately wanted to use the scientific ninja tool on his body to perform a teleportation technique to escape. It's a pity that at this time, even the scientific ninja tool on his body was frozen into pieces by the wind. Now the leader of the scientific ninja team just wants to escape, but he has no ability. Besides, even if he had the ability to escape, he would not be able to escape from the Imperial Palace in the wind today. Otsutsuki could not escape within this heavenly Imperial Palace. Not to mention this rubbish leader of the Science Neighborhood group. At this time, the leader of the scientific ninja team saw how awesome he was now. He knew that he might not really be the opponent of the wind. So he started kowtowing directly to Fengjian and begged for mercy, wanting to use the bitter meat trick in front of Fengjian. It's a pity that Fengjian didn't pay much attention to him at all. Instead, he cast Tsukuyomi demonic illusion directly on the leader of the scientific ninja team. Because Kazama had previously seen from this scientific ninja team leader that his chakra fluctuations were abnormally disordered. Therefore, Kazama predicts that the leader of this scientific ninja team is likely to be hit by someone else's demonic illusion. Otherwise, the leader of his scientific ninja team would not be so arrogant and domineering. You must know that all the ninjas in Konoha, I dare not say that they are all honest people Kunzi, but at least they are all upright people. But now the behavior and speech of the leader of the scientific ninja team are so abnormal. The wind naturally predicted that 9 out of 10 of them were secretly controlled by the enemy. Sure enough, now the leader of the scientific ninja team has been hit by Kazama's demonic illusion. A face-to-face effort tells the truth. It turned out that the leader of the scientific ninja team was previously controlled by the members of the Shell organization with demonic illusion. Its purpose is to cause chaos in Konoha and then destroy Konoha. Shell tissue. After hearing the words of the leader of the scientific ninja team, Kazama was shocked again. Because Kazama had already heard about this Otsutsuki Aikizu. You must know that this Otsutsuki is comparable to Akatsuki back then. Just that the real leader of Akatsuki was Black Zetsu, the product of Otsutsuki Kagaya,'s will. And now the real leader of this shell organization is the Otsutsuki Aikizu, who has never shown up. Chapter 380 Working with Otsutsuki Kagaya. Therefore, Kazama knew that since Otsutsuki had set up this organization specifically, then the members of this organization must be more powerful than that Akatsuki. Originally, Kazama wanted to deal with the Otsutsuki trio first, and then deal with that Otsutsuki Ashiki. Expected that now this Otsutsuki's brain seems to be more aura than that of the Datongmu trio. This Otsutsuki Ichiji knew that Kazama was strong, so he did not choose to fight alone. Instead, he chose to create an organization to fight against himself. Even destroying his favorite Konoha ninja village first, naturally annoyed Kazama. At this time, Kazama immediately focused on the leader of the scientific ninja team again and said, "Since you were controlled by members of this shell organization before, do you now know the action plan of this shell organization?" "I'm not too sure about this, but I heard they said before that they want to destroy Konoha village first, and then destroy Otogakur village." "What? Annoy me too." At this time, upon hearing the words of the leader of the scientific ninja team, Fengjian was immediately furious and violent. After all, this Konoha and that Otogakur village are the homes of Kazami. Konoha is a ninja village born and raised in Kazama, and the village of Otogakur was established by Kazama. There are many of his own companions in there, and it is naturally impossible for the wind to let the members of the shell organization hurt them. So Kazama's face-to-face effort immediately unlocked the demonic illusion, the leader of the scientific ninja team. Then he brought the leader of the scientific ninja team back to the real world. At this time, Naruto and the others did not know that the leader of the scientific ninja team was previously controlled by bad guys. So as soon as Kazama brought the leader of the scientific ninja team back, he was ready to deal with the leader of the scientific ninja team in his own way. And now Kazama immediately explained the reason to Naruto and others. Then he warned the 5 shadows to return to their respective ninja villages immediately. Because the members of the shell organization are likely to sneak in secretly. But the 5 shadows had never heard of the members of this shell organization. Therefore, seeing such a powerful person in the wind, they are so cautious about the members of this shell organization. This surprised them all at once, which really puzzled them. At this time, Na Fengjian hurriedly said to Ying, "Everyone, don't think that I am a trivial question. You must know that this shell organization is more powerful, and more mysterious than Akatsuki back then. As far as I know, the leader of this shell organization is that Otsutsuki Aikizu." "What? It's actually the bastards of the Otsutsuki clan." The 5 shadows have long seen the strength of the Otsutsuki trio, and they also know that the Otsutsuki trio are particularly arrogant and domineering. Therefore, once the 5 shadows heard that the leader of the shell organization was actually established by the Otsutsuki clan, this suddenly shocked Ying's heart. So the 5 shadows hurriedly returned to their respective villages and began to make arrangements. At this time, Kazama performed the Hiraishin technique immediately. Also immediately came to his own village of Otogakur. At this time, due to the use of the time machine before that Kazama, he traveled to other periods of Hokage. "And it has been a long time since I came to Otogakur village.